What's up, YouTube? How's it going? Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. So as you can tell from the title, in this video, me and my friends are gonna go see and review the new Karate Kid movie, Karate Kid Legends. Now, I've not consumed any Karate Kid content prior to going to see this movie tonight. And from the sounds of it, I'm not missing out on much except the original film, the first film, which I do eventually want to check out. But it's not very high on my movies to watch list because it seems kind of generic to me, but who knows, I'll eventually watch it and get my thoughts and we'll see what happens. So not really all that interest in this film. The trailers make it seem interesting, but once again, it just seems kind of generic. So I'm interested in this film, but I can't really say I'm excited for it. But those are my thoughts heading into this film, and y'all know the drill. I'm gonna head over to the theater, me and my friends are gonna watch the movie, and we will give our thoughts right now. So what's up, guys? So it is actually a few days later, hence the change of clothes. So me and Josh did see Karate Kid Legends, but unfortunately we were unable to record our reviews after, so we were just like, we'll do it the next day. Weren't able to do it the next day or the day after. We both just got kind of busy this week and we won't be able to see each other for a couple more days. So it's just gonna be me reviewing the movie this time around, but don't worry, Josh and maybe hopefully some other people will be back the next review we do. So without further ado, here's my thoughts on Karate Kid Legends. Also, hopefully this is a better background to look at, not as boring as my usual background. Hopefully this is much prettier to look at. You can see my beautiful Funko Pop collection. But Karate Kid Legends. Spoilers, by the by. Overall, anytime I've thought about this film since seeing it, the word that comes to mind is fine. It's just one of the most fine movies I've ever seen. The most average movie I think I've seen this year. There was nothing really great or phenomenal that was really impressive or very emotionally resonant or powerful or anything like that. I didn't think anything was like really well done, but I didn't think anything was like horrible either or really badly done. The whole thing was just kind of generic, average, just fine. I did like the cast, I did enjoy the characters. There were a few moments that were actually pretty funny. If you've seen the trailers, you know we see our main character Lee training with Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan's characters to win this karate tournament. And that, surprisingly, is only like half of this film. The first half of this film is about Lee and his mother, played by Ming-Na Wen, moving to New York and kind of adjusting, him going to a new school, making a new friend, and he ends up helping her dad learn Kung Fu so he can win a boxing tournament. And that plotline takes up like half of the film. I mean, we do hear about the karate tournament and Lee does seem interested in it, but doesn't really join it and sign up and start training for it until the second half of this film. Like halfway through the film, I was like, wait a minute, where's the karate tournament stuff? Like I totally forgot about that stuff. That's what was in the trailers. I thought that's what this movie was about, and halfway through I'm just like, wait, where's that stuff? And that stuff starts kicking in. It wasn't bad, I'm just saying, if you see this movie, if you've seen the trailers and are expecting that to be the whole plot of the film, it's only like the plot of the second half of the film, really. That was a little bit weird, but it was fine. I enjoyed the stuff with Lee and his friend and her dad. I did enjoy some of the fight scenes here. They were actually really cool. Some of the editing is a little bit weird, especially in the second half of the film when they start getting into Lee training for the karate tournament and Jackie Chan comes to New York to help train him, and he brings Ralph Macchio's character to help Lee learn karate. And in the second half of the film, some of the editing is a little strange because it like moves certain moments around and it uses not completely linear storytelling, which I thought was a little weird. For example, when Jackie Chan's character comes to visit and he starts training Lee for the karate tournament, we don't hear from Ming-Na Wen, his mother's character, for a while, and I'm like, how are they training and she doesn't know about it? And then they go back a few scenes after we see him training for a while and we see that the Jackie Chan's character talked to his mother and convinced her to let him enter the tournament and for him to be trained, and I was like, oh, okay, there's that scene. And then when Lee starts getting into the finals and all that, I'm like, I feel like we need a scene where his mother finally talks to him and like says that she approves of his fighting. I'm like, where the heck is that scene? And then we flash back again a couple scenes and we see that that did happen. I'm like, oh, there's that scene. It just felt like certain scenes were supposed to be somewhere in the story, and they kind of moved them around and went back and showed you that that did happen. I just thought that was kind of weird. Like I said, the story's kind of generic. You kind of know where the story's going. You kind of know all the plot beats that are going to be in the film. But some of the plot beats don't happen when they should. They kind of shuffle them around, and it's like, wait, what? Wait, where's this plot beat? And then they go back and show you that that did happen. And it's like, oh, that is pretty much how I felt the whole second half of this film. The whole second half I was going, wait a minute, where's this scene? Where's this scene? Where's this plot beat? Where's this plot beat? And then they showed me that that happened. I'm like, oh, there it is. There are some emotional moments here, like when they explain Lee's backstory and why his mom isn't a fan of him really fighting anymore. And it was emotional, but I don't think it was as emotionally powerful as they wanted it to be or as it should have been. When Lee does end up winning the karate tournament in the end, everyone's cheering for him, you do get that sense of victory, but again, it wasn't as powerful or meaningful as I think it should have been or as they wanted it to be. There were a lot of moments in this film that I felt were kind of lacking or underwhelming. We get to these moments in the film where I feel like it should have meant something, and I felt like we were missing some scenes to get that build up, to get that emotional payoff. And then, like I keep saying, they show you that they have that emotional payoff, they flash back to it, and it's like, oh, there it is. And I just can't help but wonder. And towards the end of the film, I just kept wondering, would it have been more effective if they just let it be linear storytelling instead of like going back every now and again? I feel like maybe that would have been more effective. Maybe it would have just felt the same, I don't know, but I can't but wonder if maybe more linear storytelling would have been more effective. As we get to these scenes that are supposed to mean something, and it felt like they cheated, they didn't really build up to that. I enjoyed the film, but I don't know if this is a film I would ever revisit on my own. I'm not gonna buy it and put it in my collection. If my friend group wanted to watch this and have like a movie night, I'd be down, I'd be fine with that, but I think there are so many other movies that I would rather watch. Like I said, fine film, but that's all it is. It's just fine. Nothing super good, nothing super bad, just kind of average. But overall, I think that's all my thoughts on this film. Leave your thoughts about Karate Kid Legends down below if you have seen it. Would love to have a conversation with y'all about this film. And maybe Josh will leave his thoughts about the film down below. Josh, if you are watching, my brother in Christ, do that if you please. But thank y'all for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.